Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here in this channel, I'll talk about relaxed hair care, hair growth, protective styling, and so much more concerning the hair topic in general. So if you know you're interested in this type of content, consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the do's and don'ts of protective style takedown. So in no particular order, let's just get started. The first do I'm going to talk about is to moisturize your protective style prior to take down. If you've been watching my protective style takedown videos, you know that I never ever miss this step. Usually I recommend moisturizing your hair like a day or 2 days prior to your protective style takedown, and even though at times I miss this deadline, I make sure that on the day I take down my protective style I moisturize my hair. So never ever take down your protective style without moisturizing your hair. I started this routine about 4 years ago, and I noticed a huge difference in length retention, in detangling and all that compared to when I wasn't using this method. Now what this moisturizing does is to soften your buildup, soften your tangle, so that during the process of your detangling it will be easier to get rid of the tangles, to get rid of the buildup, and to detangle your hair without experiencing too much breakage. So it's very necessary that you moisturize your hair prior to your protective style takedown. And for this moisturizing routine, I recommend a sort of leave-in moisturizer, and you can go ahead to seal it up with an oil. That's what I do for my hair when I'm about to take down my protective styles. Use a leave-in moisturizer, and I use my go-to moisturizer, my Profectiv Mega Glow Daily Leave-In Strengthener, and then I go to oil, my extra virgin olive oil to seal. But in case you miss the 2 days, the 1 day prior to your protective style takedown, in case you miss moisturizing your hair during this period, on the day of the takedown itself, you can go in and moisturize with not only a leave-in. If you don't have a leave-in, you can go in with a wash of conditioner, since you are going to be washing your hair after your takedown. A wash of conditioner or moisturizer, I would not recommend it like 2 days before your takedown, because these products have the tendency of leaving a lot of residues on your hair, and there's a reason why they are supposed to be washed off. So don't use it on your hair as a leave-in. So that's it for the first do. Don't ever skip moisturizing your hair prior to a protective style takedown. Now the next I'm going to be talking about is a don't, which is don't go in blindly. You don't want to go in, especially when you are new into the hair care world, you don't want to go in and take down your protective style blindly without any knowledge, without any skills, without any guidance. So before you go in to take down your protective style, especially if you are new to the hair care world, make your research. Taking down your protective style is the most crucial aspect of protective styling, because if your protective style is taken down carelessly and you lose a lot of hair, then it means that the purpose for the protective style installation has been defeated. So before you go into take down your protective style, make research on how you should detangle your hair, on how you should get rid of buildup, on how you should wash your hair after the protective style takedown. So just make research, and if you don't have the skill set to take down your protective style carefully, and if you know that when you handle your hair you are going to incur a lot of breakage, I'd recommend getting someone that has the skill set to help you take down your protective style and learn from that person. Then with time, after you develop your own skill set, you take down your own protective styles by yourself, because taking down protective styles is not as easy as it seems, especially when you know the ins and outs of taking down a protective style, especially when it's a long-term protective style. So you have to be knowledgeable about it. You have to know the do's and don'ts. And thank God you are watching this video right now. This is actually a very nice step to gain knowledge to avoid breakage when taking down your protective style. So moving on, the next on the list is a do, which is be patient. You can't decide to take down your protective style when you know you have a lot of things packed for that day. when you want to take down your protective style, especially if it's a long-term protective style, just dedicate a full day to it. If possible, you may even dedicate 2 days to it. There are times I take down protective styles and I use about 2 days to take down the whole thing, because you have to be patient. If you decide not to be patient and just decide to rush everything, the result you are going to get is not going to be fun, because there's no way you are going to avoid breakage when you roughly and hurriedly detangle your hair, hurriedly try to get rid of buildup, hurriedly try to get rid of knots. So always be patient when trying to take down a protective style. If you know that full day cannot be free for your hair alone, then I'd recommend postponing the protective style take down to a later date, where you know the entire day can be sacrificed for just your hair. Now, the next on the list is a don't, which is don't cut your braid. So some of us have the habit of cutting the attachment ends of the braids, of the twists, feeling our hair will not get to that extent, and it will actually make the detangling process or the takedown process easier. This is a very wrong practice. It is better to be safe than sorry. This is even worse when you're not the one cutting it yourself, but when you do it, for example, at a salon, because I have found out that there are times, couple of times, I have seen so many situations where they mistakenly cut your hair in the process of getting rid of the attachment. And this is even worse when you use the same color of attachment as your hair. And most of the time they'll be so confident, when cutting this stuff, telling you they can see your hair, like giving you a form of reassurance, and yet they still go on and cut your hair. And the thing is, you won't even know until after maybe you get home and you examine your hair and you see that one side is kind of shorter than the rest, or your ends kind of have a sudden blunt end instead of its normal tapery end. So these kinds of re-emphasize the last tip I gave, which is be patient. Patiently detangle your hair from the ends to the roots, and don't cut your braids in an attempt to save time, because in the process you may be cutting your hair. So this brings us to the next on the list, which is a do, and that is detangle in steps. There are steps to detangling. You can't just take down your hair and the first thing that's going on your hair during the detangling process is a small tooth comb. There are steps to detangling, and I already made a video on how to remove product buildup, where I showed you guys two different methods of detangling. The first method was a 3-step process and the second method was a 2-step process. So if you've not seen that video, I'll make sure to link it down in the description box below. So there are steps to detangling. Like I said, you can't start with a small tooth comb. The first and compulsory thing you have to start with in any detangling process is your fingers. Always start with your fingers before moving on to combs. And even when you move on to combs, never start with a small tooth comb. You want to start with a wide tooth comb before that. If necessary, only if necessary, you go in with a small tooth comb. So this brings us to the next on the list, which is a don't, which is don't detangle everything at once. Some of us have this habit, and I confess I was guilty of this at first when I started my hair journey. This is when we take down the whole protective style, like take down the whole braids, the whole cornrows, the whole twist, everything, and start detangling everything all at once. Some people get away with it, but the fact is the breakage you are going to get from detangling your hair one at a time is going to be less compared to the breakage you get from detangling your hair all at once. So I recommend that you detangle your hair as you go. After taking down one braid, detangle that section, put it away, take down another braid, detangle that section, and do that until your whole head of hair is fully detangled, and you'll be more likely to detangle your hair very properly, like get rid of everything, all the knots, all the tangles, all the build-up, if you detangle your hair one section at a time compared to when you just decide to detangle everything together. So always make sure to detangle your hair one braid at a time or one section at a time. And if you've been watching my videos, you see that this is what I normally do. do. So these are the do's and don'ts of protective styles takedown that I have for you guys today. If you watched this video this far and you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you are not part of the farm already, and turn on the post notification bell so that you become the first to get notified whenever I upload a new video. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.